everybody. For those that don't know me, my name's Steele. Obviously, those that do know me know that I am a 5G, anti-5G campaigner. And obviously, the trials and tribulations that we've went through are significant. However, the reason I'm doing this video today is to appeal to everyone who believes in the rule of law, freedom of speech, democracy, and the hard-won rights that we've fought for many, many centuries, not just the last 50 years, to uphold those rights. My local authority, Gateshead Council, have took it upon themselves to spend significant amounts of taxpayers' money trying to, let's say, discredit me as well as others in the fight against 5G. What I'm going to say is I want everybody to get involved. People will know that the Save Us Now political movement channel was actually taken down. So it's really important that people share this. And this appeal I'm putting out today, I told everyone we were going to go on the offensive when we are ready. Well, we are ready to go on the offensive. Our legal team are ready. What we need to do is to get people to get involved with the crowd justice site. Alright, it's the 5G crime. Let justice be done though the heavens fall. So what I'm saying to people, look for that. You might see a link coming through your email. If you don't, share this video with everyone. This is a crime against humanity. Authorities acting outside of the law need to be taken into the courts so that we can test this extremely, what I believe to be, hazardous technology. In fact, I don't believe it to be. 370 of the world's leading scientists agree with me that this technology must be a moratorium. It has to be stopped. We're going to test that in the courts. We are a number of years ahead of the rest of the world due to actions that were taken by local council, my local council, Gateshead Council, against me. They pushed the button. They forced me into a position where I had to defend myself in a court. We are coming up with a third court case, but what we need to do is raise the finance to go on the offensive. We have the legal team. We have the science. We have right on our side. We have the law on our side. I implore everyone, share this. We win, by the way. Don't think we lose, we win. We win, and we will win with the support of everybody who gets involved. We are looking to raise an amount of money that can start the process of the fight back. We are going on the offensive. It's time to fight back against this crime that's been perpetrated against us, our countrymen, women and children across the globe. Fight back time. That fitment on the top of that light, it's on, look, it's illegal. Your rates are going up, they are charging more, you get less. And the reason why they're charging more, corruption. Corrupt at the very, very heart of these establishments. Not the only one. This isn't one council, this goes to the heart of the matter. Look at these light systems, still on through the day. Supposed to be carbon reduction, absolute garbage, absolute fabrication, and no birds. Look, no birds. Absolutely annihilated. Absolutely annihilated. We're not even seeing the bigger birds, and as I predicted, the trees are coming down. As I predicted, the birds would die. As I predicted, more people would get sick, sore eyes, bad heads, dying of cancer, children getting cancers, etc, etc, etc. Our legal team is getting geared up. I want people, there's a crowd justice fund, we'll have to raise a significant amount of money. The authorities are going to fight this. They're going to fight, they're going to dig in, because they are going to prison. The crime that they have committed is an outrageous one. Look there, look, look. no trees. I think I've said enough. This video will be going up later on with an attachment, an appeal from me to everyone. Look, no birds. Good evening, everybody. Nice, lovely evening in Holland Park, Kensington. This is the posh end. Alright, see that transmit on the top of the light? Yeah, you see that? There's not many sparrows about in these trees, by the way. Not very many small birds kicking around, but you see that transmit on the top of the light. Let's have a look at it. It's an 858, 868, 868 megahertz. It's scanning these homes, scanning these properties here where these people live. That's Holland Park Tube down there. Alright. So that's what this technology is capable of. No ifs, no buts. Anybody wants to question the videos, go and check out the earlier videos that have been done by me. You know it's an 868 by the height of it, yeah, because that's the antenna size. So it needs that large nub at the top, not a light sensor, by the way. Alright, it's masquerading as a light sensor. So the people that are gonna have wine collections, but they're sovereigns and they're safe. This can see you're safe and knows where your safe is. Now it sounds absolutely bizarre. We've got the 3D mapping. It's also in the top of this light here. Alright, so this is Holland Park. It's in the top of that light. WiMAC technology. Alright, quite interesting as well. So a lot of these trees have been cut back quite a bit, been pulled quite a bit. Yeah, interesting enough. So that's the technology actually in that architectural lamp. That's the 868 on top of there. Alright, so that's what it is. And these very expensive properties. Now, let's say some criminal organisation wanted to or could hack into this system, which they can, because it operates on a very, not an open platform, but it's already been compromised. So they can see when you're in, they can see where your valuables are in these properties, and then they could burgle you. Because these systems, have a look here, that's just a little key. So there's no security there. See that? Little key, no security. Hack into that, and then look into these properties, see where all their sovereigns are, and leave it open to be burgled. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Another debacle. Amazing what they'll do to roll these weapon systems out on top of people. The total lack of any due care. Unbelievable.
.5G is not about cell phones. It's being sold that way. Your cell phone's going to be so much faster. You can get the latest and greatest new iPhone. You could pay whatever. Probably by the time it comes out, you're going to pay $2,000 for a smartphone that will do 5G, and you can get your movies downloaded in 3 seconds instead of 3 minutes. I say, well, what a benefit. It's not about cell phone speed up. I've listened to the speeches of the CEOs of Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, and consistently you can see them salivating, not over voice communications or human communication on cell phones, but they're salivating over the Internet of Things. And this is what they're talking incessantly about, that 5G is going to light up the Internet of Things that will allow all of the data collection, all of the devices out there that could be connected to the internet, is going to draw all that data back in real time. And when I say real time, that's hard for most people to understand what that means. the latest wireless technology, 4G, is fast, no doubt. But 5G takes it to a completely different level. Not only are the data transmission speeds higher, much higher, but the other factor in internet communications is called latency. Latency has to do with how long it takes that first little ping back and forth to say, I'm ready to send, and the other one says, I'm ready to receive. And so they has to go back and forth all the time, determining, are you ready to receive it, are you ready to send it? Now, this sounds like a minuscule thing. Typically in a home situation where you have a Wi-Fi router, your latency time can be something like 20 to 30 milliseconds. You say, whoa, that's really fast. And it is, but it's not real time. 5G technology has gotten the latency period down to 1 millisecond or less. This is incredible. This is absolutely revolutionary. What this means is the sensors embedded in a city will be able to send data in real time back to the central computer, where artificial intelligence will be waiting to analyze it, to model it, to extract all of the useful information out of it. This is what the big carriers are salivating over. They want that data.
Well, what a lovely day. Sunday morning, all day yesterday, mass troll attack, all using the illogical liar narrative. GCHQ were full at work there yesterday, so they've obviously had to put the overtime on. So Saturday was a mass attack on loads of 5G, stop 5G sites across the country. A lot of them were having to delete en masse quite a significant number of these fake trolls, schoolboys from GCHQ and the industry. So the industry have got their own trolls, because what they're absolutely desperate about, 5G story is getting out, the information's getting out, and unfortunately can't stop the truth. You cannot stop the truth. Believe us. So you're going to try. What you're going to do next, pull the whole Facebook down, pull all social media down, because that's what you're going to have to do. And then we're going to take to the streets, because we're ready. Because we've been getting ready, building our resistance, right, while you lot want to just do it on the cheap, sit in a computer room, in a comms room, right, and blast away, trolling people and trying to discredit people. Well, it hasn't worked. The story's getting out, right, the information and the research. People only have to look very, very small amount, pull back that curtain, and see exactly what you're up to. So anyway, we've caught them out again, right, with a logical lying, the logical lies that they keep putting out about spying. I wonder what I was spying for with these glasses. I wonder where the camera was, and I wonder who I was spying for. I tell you what, like, are you thick? I mean, everybody's laughing at you. I was laughing at it. I thought it was hilarious. I had to stop listening, because obviously you know that, like the turkey voice, right? That turkey voice, I can't stand it, right? It like really plays havoc with me ears. It's got a very bad sort of resonance, terrible resonance frequency. It's a bit very witchy, very devilish and very witchy. That ain't that right? It really affects me ears. So consequently, I did have a bit of a laugh. I probably watched it about 20 times, because we laughed all morning. It's one of the best laughs I've had for ages. But I did get bored with it, because like I said, the sound can affect your ears. Going back to the trolling, delete them, get rid. They'll just keep opening up all our fake accounts. Alright, they'll just keep opening up fake accounts and keep up the narrative, right? Because what they don't want people to know, the 5G scanner, sub-gig scanner on the streetlights, they are absolutely desperate, because it affects everybody. If you knock on people's doors where they've got these scanners outside, you'll find they've got sore eyes, bad heads, skin complaints, stomach trouble, breathing trouble now. We're starting to see a significant increase of people who are starting to have breathing tract issues. It's the charging of the air. Alright, they're charging the air, because obviously these are pretty powerful, and you've got a blanket of rape, so you're basically in a scanner. You're in a scanner where the air is charged. Microwave radiation is just energy in air. You're breathing it in, it's charging the air, and it's gassing you. It's another point that don't tell you about these microwave radiation transmissions, alright? So they're increasing the charge in the air, you breathe it in, you get breathing tract cancers. It's happening now. Your councils are rolling out a weapon system, and they think it's for controlling the lights. What a bunch of complete dummies. And yes, GCHQ, you just crack on. Truth will be out. You can't stop it. Alright? No matter how much money you get from them criminals, right, in Parliament, right, to shut down the narrative, justice is coming. Justice is coming. Let justice be done, that the heavens fall. You know what happens. We know what happens. Believers, we're coming. Morning, London. I normally do these from Gateshead, but this is morning London. Not many birds down here either, is there? Not many birds at all. In fact, these trees look a little bit stressed, and no birds. Alright, so this is London, because people are telling me that these transmitters, right, these phased rate transmitters are scanning people's homes. They're just in poorer parts of the country. Well, they're not, because this is a very expensive part of the country, and as you'll see, there's the equipment there, hiding in the top of this light system. Alright, so these are phased array scanners scanning people's homes, totally legal. This is your 5G. 5G already installed. Obviously these trees have been very heavily pulled. Not looking very good, that one, is it? Very heavily pulled. A lot of radiation though in the city, because you can understand that. A lot of Wi-Fi, a lot of emissions, but obviously this added scanning burden that's on 24/7, and it's an experimental. It's an 868. It's an 868. It was a battlefield interrogation signal. Very expensive part of the world. I wonder how these people are going to be happy when they find out that transmit on the top of that light and actually look into their home. Don't take my word for it. Go and look at the 3D mapping capability of smart cities. It's all about looking into your bin. It's not really. It's all about interrogating your home to see what you're up to, where your valuables are. A lot of stress to these trees. An awful lot of stress. Seems like nobody's noticed. The heavy stripping back of these particular trees is pretty worrisome. This could Holland Park Mews, probably a little bit safer down there than what you are in these bigger homes, because that directional antenna is just opposite these people's living quarters, bedrooms, etc., and obviously they're on 24/7. Kensington Council, a lot of these councils, for some inexplicable reason, have allowed this technology to be rolled out uninsurable, untested, unregulated. 5G, as we know from the US Congress, it is an illegal invasion of privacy, and one of the reasons why local authorities, governments, etc., are trying to shut up the narrative, and one of the reasons why Gavin Williams, no doubt he got sacked, doesn't really know what's going on. If he did, be a lot more Conservative MPs up in arms, and I'll tell you now, there'll be a lot more people around here up in arms when they find out what this technology is actually capable of. So, somebody told us the other day that the kids weren't kicking the balls off the trees. That's why the bark's coming off. Tell you what, they're clever, them kids, aren't they? They're clever. So anyway, now we know certain trees do strip, but obviously this has went on all year, and you can see the tree itself's looking a little bit under the weather. But look, no birds. This is the spring we're coming into, all right? So no birds and a lot less bigger birds. So last year, as we predicted, right, there would be a lot less bigger birds, and that's what we see today. So look at, not a bird. Get a look. It's real. It's real. No birds. So you get the odd little bird. Most certainly not any birds in those trees here, all dead. But look, here's a really interesting one. This is what happens to the radiation. Look, see the bark breaking off. That's the stress of the bark. This is why the trees are coming down, the felling. They're coming down so you don't see this, right? Because what they do, they take the energy to ground, right? These are your protection, these are your oxygen, these are your air. They take carbon dioxide underground, so it's carbon reduction policy and gates are chopping all the trees down. So we've seen massive, what they're saying, pollen, and then they're coming back and chopping them down. This is real, folks. They're not making this up. We aren't damaging these trees. The radiation knocks the bark off. Look at the state of that, right? So it knocks the bark off, and this is going on. Look at that tree over there. Look, see? Right, look. So we're not going to go very far. Right, 5G's been banned in Brussels and Rome. So the elites of Rome and Brussels decided not for them. That's it on the top of those lights. It is illegal. The LED street lights are illegal. The transmitter on the top is illegal. It's a weapon system. Now I know you'll find that unbelievable. Unfortunately, it's true. I'm going to show you something. You see on that mast, what it actually says is danger. It's actually got a warning on it. See the cooler boxes at the base. Yeah, nasty. Not getting any closer because you get really bad heads, and what you don't want to do is suffer a stroke, and that can cause stroke. It's a pretty busy area. A lot of radiation on this roundabout. Got out the people that have to, sit around here on the night time. That'll not be very good. Aye. Do not proceed beyond this point. Interesting. What point's that? I wonder what's inside here. I wonder what they've got hidden in there. It's pretty robust. Right. In case of an emergency. Interesting. What sort of emergency are you expecting here, like? What sort of emergency that's going to be.
This whole body of truth we're talking about here has to do with social control. That's what technocracy was about in the first place. That's what sustainable development is about today with Agenda 21 and 2030 Agenda and the New Urban Agenda and so on from the United Nations. It's about social control. This is what the Green New Deal is all about, that AOC has introduced into our country with the firestorm, I might add. Everybody's talking about it now. This is about social control, getting you to do what they want you to do. It takes away private choice. It takes away citizen choice. It takes away citizen concerns completely and says, essentially, this is such an ego trip. We know what's best for you. You should trust us to make all your decisions for you. Why? Your purchasing decisions, your medical decisions, your travel decisions, your consumption decisions, how many children you have decisions, everything under the sun is envisioned right now, is on the table for them to exercise social control over you and I. This is not just by mistake or unintended. This is the way it was from the beginning.
Good morning, Gateshead. What a beautiful morning. What an absolute beautiful morning. Right, let's just have a look for the little tweety birds. Right, we're coming out of Ravensworth here. Right. No birds. No birds. This is the spring. So all those deceivers, it's the winter, there's no birds. This is the spring. There's no birds. There's no birds. Alright, we're not making this up. Share this video, important. Control light management system. It's been on a couple of years now. This is the carbon reduction policy of Gateshead Council. Shameful, absolutely shameful. Lights on all over. Wake up people, wake up people. The light is shining, the sun's shining, the lights are on. They're telling you something. Not a control management system, not what some further deceivers were found out today as it happens. Quite interesting enough, all the government agents are in denial of 5G in Gateshead. So if they deny 5G's in Gateshead, you know they're acting for the state. State apparatus lying, right? Obviously nobody believes a word they say, but lying. Because make no mistake about it, can't get those lights off. Right? They've actually had to shut this company in to try and cover up, massive cover up now on 5G, because what we're seeing, Rome, it's not getting rolled out. So the elites don't want it anywhere near them. Brussels, it's not getting rolled out. The elites, the cabal, don't want it anywhere near them. Unfortunately for London, it's already there. It's in London, it's in Edinburgh, it's in Glasgow, it's in Gateshead. 5G weapon system. 5G is a weapon system, nothing to do with telecommunications. Do not believe the fabrication and the lies. Look, no birds. No birds. All gone. All died. All dead. Ecological, environmental, criminal activity, and nobody is doing anything about it. The authorities aren't doing anything about it, and this is down to you. It's down to you, it's down to me, it's down to people to act, because the criminal activity, the fraud, the corruption is absolutely endemic. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Where's all the sparrows? Where's all the small birds? Where are they? They're not about, are they? No small birds. Collapsing most other birds. Even the big birds are dying off now. Even the big birds. Getting hammered. Hammered by a microwave radiation blanket. It's called coverage right across the Gateshead borough. 31,000 illegal, unlawful 5G transmitters, killing wildlife, killing people right across the borough. A massive cover-up going on now. People been contacting people in London to say they haven't got 5G. Agents contacting people in London to tell them I haven't got 5G. I was on a radio programme in London right, yesterday. Facebook have banned the link, banned it. Google have banned the Save Us Now YouTube channel to stop this information getting out. So they're running for the hills. The cabal the cabal, have woken them up. No birds. Wake up, people. Sun's shining. Look there. Sun is shining, waking humanity from their slumber. And wake up now. Wake up as quickly as you can and wake your number. This is a crime against you. In action. You will not survive this. Wake up. Here's a message for everybody. Obviously, things are going really well. We really are starting to smash this. What I've noticed, lots of people now who I'm connected to on Facebook and other social media platforms are sharing the information so we can save as many people as possible and get the truth out about what 5G really is and what it's here to do. What I'm going to say to people, try and encourage your friends to share. You have to remember these social media platforms are our adversary's battle space. He is fighting against the information getting out. The mainstream media, we have to subdue their attempts to cover up the 5G crime that's been perpetrated against us. What I'm going to say to people, get your friends to share. People who are on my channels now are sharing all the time. Get them to share. It helps us to defeat our enemy. It helps us defeat our enemy's attempts to shut this narrative in. And it also helps to defeat the mainstream and the agencies who are intent on harming the people from the 5G weapon system. Really important. Share this. Share it with others. Share the information out over talk, tell, text and share. Use their weapon system, use their social media to defeat the beast, to defeat the monsters who are behind the 5G. Share it. It's really important.
Parents outraged tonight after a fourth child is diagnosed with cancer at a San Joaquin elementary school, and parents believe it's because of radiation caused by a cell tower at the school.
Cell phone towers are spread throughout the community, but it's this particular one that parents say
tell us it's 100% environmental, the type of tumor he has.
Monica Ferruli's son Mason was the second child to be diagnosed with cancer in just 3 years at Weston Elementary. He was 10 years old and walked by this cell phone tower daily.
It's undescribable. It's really tough.
That's one of the hardest things I've been through.
Joe Prime's son Kyle was the first, diagnosed with kidney cancer in 2016, and 2 more kids were diagnosed this year.
It just seems like a coincidence is no longer a reason for all this illness.
They believe it's this cell phone tower that's harming their kids.
These kids shouldn't be guinea pigs, and we shouldn't be taking chances with the children's lives.
The district has had several tests done saying the tower is safe and meets federal regulations. But some families weren't convinced and hired an expert.
I wouldn't send my kids there at all. It absolutely is dangerous.
Eric Windheim is an electromagnetic radiation specialist and found levels far higher than the district's expert.
Children that are still developing and their cells are still dividing is the worst possible time of their life to be exposed.
He says it's not just a cell tower, it transmits wireless frequencies.
Instead of only going 300 yards like regular Wi-Fi, WiMAX can go 30 miles.
Parents want the mast removed, but the district won't budge.
Still getting a lot of 5G deniers. It's not on. Council's saying it's on intermittently. Watch, I'm going to show you something. You see that? Because that's one there behind it, right? So it's in line of sight. Because the line of sight, a little bit more powerful. So you see that there? See the state of the bar? It's bursting, blistering it off. Because obviously you've got a charge going down the back side. Now we see how that's totally different. Yeah, so they're destroying the trees. Now think about it. They're destroying the bark off the tree. Right, oh, all the way up there. All the way up there. Damaging the tree. Right, killing it. That's why they've got to chop them down so you don't see it. right? So you actually don't see the damage that's been done, right? By the way, have a look up in there and see if you can see any birds, because there's any. No small birds. Got a few seagulls, a few blackbirds, a couple of magpies. Trees up there, look. See that tree there, look. Them kids is playing out that radiation. Not good. There's a transmitter on the top of there. Alright, it's in line of sight with this criminal piece of equipment here. This is criminal, it's illegal and unlawful. These transmitters do not pass any regulatory standard, and the reason why, they're dangerous. Simple fact. 5G high gain direct links, only 5G by the way, not 4G, not 3G, as the council have lied in court. Not 3G, not 4G, not 2G, not 3G, as the councillors have lied and still continue to lie. Politicians lying on behalf of the executive. That's a new one. That takes a bit of a precedent and carries with it a significant criminal charge. And believe us, we will have justice. We will have justice. Look at these trees, all stressed, right? All the stressing, right, on the bark. Let's have a look at this one. Right, you've got one there. So you've got this one here, right, and it's in direct line of sight to this one here. See, look at the state of this. Absolutely unbelievable, right? Look at the state of these trees. These trees are going to die. They're going to die. They're going to have to be chopped down. But that's probably what they want. Because what they don't want is people seeing the stressing, right, of the bark and the tree as it's trying to protect us. So these trees protect us. They produce oxygen for us. This thing kills you. It kills the trees. Anybody starting to work something out there? Because we've had a significant number of deaths in this area from these transmitters. That's what this data says. Massive increase in death rates, and you know, I've got no doubt that across the rest of the country, Rotherham, Sheffield, no doubt they'd see the same thing. So much so, the council have even had to set up their own funeral directors to profit off it. Alright. What a lovely day. Well, another sunny day in Gateshead. During the day, of course, and another light mast. We'll just show around here because it's obviously not the one that we took the other day. This is another one. This is that carbon reduction policy. That's how you reduce carbon and you reduce your rate bills, by leaving the lights on all the time. The reason why the lights on all the time, because that little twig on the top, not a control management system as stated by Gateshead Council. That was a little bit of a lie. So it's masquerading as a control management system. It's actually 5G. It's uninsurable. Gateshead Council took out a press release stating that there's no risk. PHE say there's a significant risk from those pulsing lights. See those pulsing LED lights? That's central nervous system. So prostate cancer, breast cancer increases, recent research has shown. So the story's getting out. Mainstream media covered that, was in the Telegraph. So these are uninsurable transmitters. This is an experiment being waged on the people of Gateshead by Gateshead Council, and that absolutely unlawful activity, because this was rolled out without any public consultation. That's in breach of parliamentary laws. They just about broke every single law. I hope the chief executive's watching this. Why aren't Northumbria police acting? I'm not sure, but anybody who's suffering nosebleeds from the transmitters, contact them. Police are starting to get up to speed because there's a significant number of people now who are complaining of harm. They've been assaulted by this. It's a noxious substance, and not only that, it increases the radiation levels around people's homes. That's an 868, it's experimental, it's in breach of Nuremberg Code, etc, etc, etc. And the World Health Organization say that it increases your chance of getting brain cancer. So not only do the LED streetlights cause breast cancer, it can be attributed to an increase in prostate cancers, because obviously that pulsing light enters your eye. You can see there's no cover on that, so it enters your eye and causes central nervous system issues lowers your immune system, all sorts of terrible health impact, and experimented on Gateshead, not Newcastle. So the people at Gateshead are being subject to this experiment to see what the fallout's going to be, how many people are going to be hurt, how many are going to be harmed, right, from this unlawful experiment, rolled out, multi-million-pound project, rolled out without any public consultation at all. We didn't know, they just rolled out on top of us. People are hurting, neurological disorders, it increases the risk of miscarriage. They all know this, they've got the data, and that's still up here, still up, even though I've sent them all the information. What I'm going to say here, anybody telling anyone again about these transmitters not being on, we will hold them personally responsible, right, for any future deaths in the womb, all right, because these transmitters do and will increase the risk of death to the unborn. Significant risk to pregnant women. We're telling pregnant women to stay downstairs. Anybody we find out and get any evidence of people telling people, right, no matter who they are, they will be held personally responsible for any future baby fatalities. All right, so that's just to put people in the picture, because we know who you are, and you better desist in your lies and your misinformation to the people at Gateshead. This experiment is not going very well. It hasn't went very well in Bristol. They've had 12 students commit suicide from the experimental 5G they've rolled out there. That equates to near 30 children who've committed suicide, because obviously coroners do not like to actually put these down as suicides, so there's only 30% of children where they've actually left a note, etc. I think that's enough for today, but this just shows you the absolute incredible situation that we're in today. These are people we vote for. We pay them our money so that they can save money on the lights and pay themselves more in wages and salaries and bonuses so they can harm us. Come on. It's just the people at Gateshead aren't putting up with this. Well, you know, the other day I asked for someone to send me one of these new lighting controller things. All right, we've seen quite a few, seen some very strange shapes, sizes, all the rest of it. Well, we eventually had one handed to us. Seemingly it come from someone at Gateshead Council, a whistleblower who realises something's very untoward going on. Obviously, we know that as a matter of fact, but this chap obviously trying to save his bacon for any future issues that arise out of the criminal behaviour of the council. So anyway, we've had this passed to us. I'm just going to break it down. This is some of the systems that are replacing the illegal, unlawful Harvard technology. All right. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to, take this off, so we don't want to break it because it's going to go back in the stores. All right. It's going to go back in the stores. I'm just going to take it off here. I want people to just have a look at the equipment here. This is a light sensor. Right. It's a photo light sensor. So it actually measures the amount of light it fits on the top of the street lights. It is amazing. But what I'm going to show people, the height is what matters. Look, this is my hand. You can see how big it is. It's not big at all. Look, see that? That's my hand. That's me thumb and my finger. Look, so you've got less, probably a little bit less than 1.5 inches. That's the bit on the top of the light, so you'd see that much. You'd hardly see these from the street level. If they're any larger, they've most certainly got a scanning antenna in them, because the 868's a little bit bigger than that, it's about 3.5 inches. So you need to have a lot larger head. So you've got a larger head, the chances it's a scanner. All right, these low ones, these are absolutely light sensors. See it in the middle? That's one there. That's a sensor. There's another one there. Look, little set at the centre. What I'm going to show people though, this is really important. That capacitor's got on there, look, 10 volts. The thing that they've replaced it with had a 450 volt capacitor because it was a weapon. Now, this, people might think that, oh, we've won the war. Well, no, we haven't. Because you see these little 3 pins. If we do not remove the criminals who try to harm us, this can be replaced in a heartbeat because of plug and play. Plug and play, they can come along in the night time, put thousands of these. Within a couple of weeks, they would change the size of that, so it would look something a little bit larger, about another inch higher than that. Nobody would notice, and all of a sudden you'd be surrounded with a weapon. This, as I said, is a light sensor, but it is part of the deception. See, it's made to look like, well, the system is made to look like the things that they're trying to replace it with. So you'll see a lot of these white ones, all designed to look like light sensors. They're not. They're normally higher than these. In fact, what's happened, we've even seen them where they're starting to recess them into the unit. So this is the dishonesty, the deception. You can see, look, the controller system underneath. Nothing to worry about with this. The greatest worry with this piece of equipment is this plug and play potential, where they could come along on a night time, which we have known to happen, where they replace these with a far larger, more dangerous piece of equipment. So what I'm going to say to people, this is not the winning of the war. We may have won a battle, we may have got gated council to start replacing the illegal, unlawful transmitters that they have fitted. We may have won this one, alright, but that's just a little skirmish. The people who are behind this have the intent to harm the citizen. It is illegal and unlawful. This technology is innocuous, but that plug and play capability means I could come along at night, you could send 100 contractors out, and in a night time you could blanket coverage the whole area by replacing this with a far more dangerous piece of equipment. Alright, this manufacturer needs to be looked into. Believe us, those pins and that plug and play, I'm very suspicious, but I'm a very suspicious sort of person, especially when I find out that my government have actually got the intent to try and harm me, my countrymen, women and children. Alright, 10 volts on that board, that's what you would expect for a light controller, not the 450 volt capacitor that we had in the Harvard technology that they have now went into administration to cover up the criminal behaviour, like the designing of a weapon system to roll out on top of my countrymen, women and children. How dare you? How dare you? Justice is coming. Thanks once again to the whistleblower. Right, about time we had a few more, and I'll make sure that you get this back and you can actually put it into your stores where it was, where you got it from, and nobody will none the wiser. Thanks.
President Trump has said that the United States must win the 5G war.
Winning the race to be the world's leading provider of 5G cellular communications networks. It's all about 5G now. We were 4G and everybody was saying we have to get 4G. And then they said, before that, we have to get 3G. And now we have to get 5G, and 5G is a big deal, and that's going to be there for a while. And I guess at some point we'll be talking to you about number 6. What do you think? Do you think that's true?
Whenever you have something complex like this, the way to get it done quickly is to turn it into a race. I've seen this so many times. When in fact, I used to do this with my 2 young sons when they were young. All you had to do was suggest, let's have a race, let's run or whatever. Oh yeah, well, they want to compete against each other. That was guaranteed to burn off some energy, if nothing else. Mm-hmm. Anytime, like President Trump says, we have a race with China, we have to beat China. Everybody all of a sudden, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Oh, you're darn right we need to beat China. Why? Those people over there are doing all kinds of things to their citizens, whatever. We need to beat them to the punch and do it even worse. I say this jokingly, do it even worse to our people. But this is the mentality, I believe, of the Trump administration saying we need to beat China in this race. They're actually speeding up the implementation of 5G in our country We've seen them work through the FCC, which you just alluded to take away the authority of cities to charge and do independent negotiations with carriers. And so now there's a federal mandate from the top down to get this 5G stuff implemented. And it goes even beyond that, because all of the smart city things we're talking about, Josh, are part of a larger construct called infrastructure. Infrastructure, we think of it as there's a pothole in front of my house. I'd like to get it fixed. Or there's a bridge that is unsafe down the road. I'd like to see that fixed. That's not infrastructure to the technocrat mind. Infrastructure is all of the electronic stuff that's being implemented across the country to connect people and cities together and the data centers together to suck the data. This is infrastructure. Just recently, President Trump emerged from a meeting with Senator Chuck Schumer and Representative Nancy Pelosi, having concluded a deal for infrastructure spending in America. Schumer came out of the meeting. He's an arch enemy of Trump. He hates Trump's guts, and I think probably vice versa. He came out of the meeting saying, we had a great meeting with the president. Why? He even suggested more money than we suggested for infrastructure, and he upped the ante. And so President Trump put on the table for infrastructure spending $2 trillion.
Wow.
Huge. Where will this $200 million go? Are they talking about bridges? Are they talking about potholes? Are they talking about repaving the freeways? No, they're not. They're talking about the infrastructure that we're talking about here to blanket our country with smart city technology and everything that goes to shore it up for the largest social engineering project in the history of the world.
Good afternoon, everybody. Great day today. Great day yesterday. Everything's getting really, really good. Getting great, in fact. Contacts going through the roof. We've got very, very interesting people and very, very capable people who are now starting to join the resistance. Getting organised, going to info at saveusnow.org.uk, getting the packs, watching the videos, doing their own research. Very important, because obviously what we need to do is dispel the misinformation. The information I put out the other day about the security services and how they deplorably use mental health patients to further their agenda didn't go down very well. A lot of spies got themselves upset about that, and a lot of them unfortunately unmasked themselves for who they are. So another great day. 5G and the truth about 5G once again uncovers the hidden, embedded, state-sponsored people. Fantastic. We've cleaned out hundreds and hundreds of them. No wonder the country is bankrupt. How many are there? I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of money that must get spent trying to control the narrative. Well, listen to this. Your deception's over. We can all see that the carbon dioxide's disappeared. We can all now read about the smart meters, how dangerous they are, how they're on all the time, how they're attacking people's pets, giving them cancer. The chipsets that they're putting in your dog and your cat, it acts as an antenna. Your neighbour's smart meter is giving it cancer. If you don't have one, your neighbour's is. Does your neighbour know they're killing your pets? What does energy companies think about killing your pets? Do you really think you should be paying them? Do you really think you should be paying your council for rolling out the illegal, unlawful LED streetlights that have already been shown to double the breast and prostate cancer? Never mind 5G. 5G's a whole other nutmeg, a whole other issue. It's where we get into criminal conspiracies to harm the citizen, the intent to kill. It's time for people to take sides. You're either with the wrongdoers and the evil monsters behind us, or you're with the resistance. Like I said, get your packs. info@saveusnow.org.uk. Spread this video far and wide. We are the resistance, and we will have justice. We know who the wrongdoers are, the deceivers. Justice is coming, and they will end up in a court, and will most certainly spend the vast majority of the remaining life that they have in prison. And I'll tell you now, the type of people that I know who are starting to get organised about this crime that's being committed against them, prison will be the safest place for them. So for all the MPs who are still putting out the deplorable, dishonest information on Public Health England, who we know are fabricating the evidence and saying 5G is safe, we know it isn't. For the local authorities who are rolling out LED streetlights, even though they've been warned by Public Health England, they are risky to your children. They cause eye damage. They cause macular degeneration. What I'm going to tell you that causes cancer. We do not pay public servants to either be dishonest or to harm us. People need to get organised, be part of the resistance. We are growing in our numbers by the thousand. Thousands upon thousands of people are talking and getting organised. Petitions, talk to MPs, see what side they're on, because the battle lines are being drawn. It's between good and evil. I'm going to tell you who wins, who always wins. Good. Good.